You know, words like I, me, he, and they're some of the most common words we use in English, but man, can they cause a lot of confusion. When do you use I versus me? And is this whole singular they thing really new? Well, we're going to break down the simple rules that are going to clear all of this up for good.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Pronouns are basically just shortcuts. They keep our sentences from sounding super repetitive. But as this quote from the Patrick Henry Community College Writing Center points out, when we get them wrong, our whole meaning can get completely scrambled.
Come on, you've been there. You're writing an email, you pause, and that question hits you. Is it Raquel and I or Raquel and me? It's probably the most common pronoun puzzle out there, and I promise, by the end of this, you're going to have the answer every single time. So, to solve that puzzle, and pretty much any other one, we just need to understand one basic idea: the difference between a subject and an object. Seriously, once you get this, everything else just kind of clicks into place.
Okay, first up, subject pronouns. The easiest way to think about these is that they're the stars of the sentence. They're the ones actually doing the action. I walk, she talks, they learn. They are the doers. And on the flip side, we've got the object pronouns. Think of them as the supporting cast. They aren't doing the action is being done to them. The ball was thrown to me. The teacher praised him, she called us. See? They're the receivers.
And here on this chart, you can see the direct link. Every doer pronoun has its receiver counterpart. I becomes me, he turns into him, we flips to us. You can think of this as your essential cheat sheet for getting it right. So let's see this rule in action. Who walked the dog? Well, the doer, right? So it has to be she. Who did the coach ask? The receiver of the action, so it has to be me. Your ear already knows her walked the dog just sounds wrong, but now you know the actual grammar rule behind why. All right, so with that rule under our belt, let's circle back and tackle that classic problem. You know the one that trips up even the most confident people. Now, this sentence sounds kind of fancy and correct, doesn't it? A lot of us were probably taught that saying "and I" sounds more polite or more proper, but in this case, it's actually the mistake. So let's figure out why. Okay, here is a super simple trick that works every time. Just take the other person out of the sentence for a second. You would never, ever say, "My grandparents set up a fund for I." It just sounds totally wrong. But they set up a fund for me? Yep, that sounds perfect. So, because you're the receiver of the action in that sentence, you have to use the object pronoun, me. The correct phrase is, for my sister and me. And once you get this trick down, I promise you are going to start spotting this mistake everywhere. Okay, so we've covered the classic rules. But here's the thing about language. It's not set in stone. It's always changing and evolving. And honestly, no pronoun has a more interesting story of evolution right now than the word they. A lot of people think the singular they is a totally new thing, but it's not. It's actually been around for centuries, used by literary giants like Chaucer. It really only fell out of style back in the 1700s, when a few grammarians decided they didn't like it. But now, the tide has totally turned back, and it's widely accepted again. So, how do we use it today? Well, mostly in two key ways. First, when you're talking about a general person and their gender is either unknown or just doesn't matter. Like somebody left their umbrella. The second and really important use is to refer to a specific person who identifies as non-binary and uses they, them as their pronouns. And wow, you can really see the evolution right here. The old school role made you use that clunky he or she, which is just wordy and, as we understand now, not very inclusive. The modern standard, they, is just so much cleaner, it's short, and it includes everyone without making any assumptions. So, we've gone through the rules, we've looked at the history, and we've seen how things are used today. But why does any of this actually matter outside of an English class? Well, it all boils down to two really important things: clarity and respect. So here's your takeaway toolkit. First, always ask yourself, do I need a doer or a receiver? Second, use that awesome little trick of just removing the other person to double check yourself. And third, don't be afraid to use the singular they. It's great for clarity and for inclusion. These three tools will solve pretty much any pronoun problem you'll ever run into. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This goes way beyond just being correct with your grammar. Using the right pronouns for someone, especially when they've told you what they are, is just a fundamental act of respect. It's how we acknowledge who people are, and that helps create a world that's more inclusive for all of us.
The story of pronouns just proves that language is this living, breathing thing that's constantly adapting to our world. It really makes you wonder, right? What's next? What part of the way we talk today is going to seem old-fashioned 100 years from now? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.